Manchester United face Liverpool on Sunday at Anfield. It's the toughest game of the Premier League season. It's the one you always look for as soon as the fixtures are released. And we're coming into it this week off the back of defeats to Bournemouth and Bayern. And it's not been a good season so far. And our record at Anfield, it's not been great. Let's be polite. We've had one goal at Anfield in the Premier League since 2016. So what can Ten Hag possibly change for this team to get a result compared to last season at Anfield and compared to what we saw against Bayern in midweek? I'm going to run through my starting 11, my predictions, all the quotes from Ten Hag in the press conference, and confirmation about team news. Get your predictions in the comments on this one. I really want to know, is there anybody who's optimistic of a result? I'm scared. I am scared. I can't lie. But let's run through the team news that we know straight away, all right? Couple of important ones. Harry Maguire is going to be missing for this game. It's just kind of par for the course, really. United this season, get one player back from injury, get another player going out with injury. Another non-impact injury, groin, ruled him out. Luke Shaw, he's going to be available. And Marcus Rashford is fit to return. But this is a Marcus Rashford who has been absolutely bang out of form all season long. So sod knows what Marcus Rashford is going to turn up if he plays. Now, Ten Hag was asked naturally about his future, and he's just sort of dismissing it. And there's no point in Erik sort of dwelling or thinking or even putting any sort of energy into that. Because this happened last season at Anfield. And it was, it's easily one of the biggest humiliations we've ever had. I felt sorry for every fan who's in that stadium, and it's going to be my first trip to Anfield on Sunday, and I'm clapping my wee pants. I'm not looking forward to it. But I'm there. What if? It's always a thing you have to go into a game with optimism as a fan. Otherwise, what's the point in watching football? But in terms of optimism for this game, United are going to have to change it up from how we've been playing, man. Right? And there's going to have to be some changes as well to the team. This was a team there that faced Bayern Munich midweek. Now, we were a lot more secure defensively in that game. Right? But we had nothing going forward because it ended up being more like Amrabat there. Bruno Fernandes ended up being a little bit deeper. McTominay was kind of as the isolated number 10. That's pretty much what the shape was against Bayern Munich, although it was probably a little bit deeper. Everyone's going to be important on Sunday, but I tell you what, Onana's going to have a stormer. Onana's shot technique saving has been awkward this season. His goal's going to get peppered on Sunday. He's going to have to parry into the right places. He's going to have to drive off his line when he needs to. And if he can, play under pressure and play good balls out because he's going to need to find his man. His long kicks this season have been really disappointing for me in terms of how accurate they've been. We haven't played out from the back with any sort of confidence. So I'm not surprised that he's poor in that sense. But in terms of finding those balls, Onana, this ball here, right? From about there into about this area. One ball over the top, either for a winger dropping deeper or for a fullback pushing up. They're the ones I think that can really relieve pressure against Liverpool this weekend. But in terms of defensive changes, there will be some. Harry Maguire is not fit to play. Now, Luke Shaw, it sounds like he's going to be fit and available. So let me know in the comments, though, where do you think Luke Shaw is going to play? Because it means one of two things, Harry Maguire being missing, right? Well, it means one thing straight away that we know. Maguire's out, and that means Rafa Varane is going to be playing as right centre-back. Who plays as his partner is the question. Because one option, of course, is Luke Shaw playing there, and then Reguilon coming off the bench and playing as the left-back. Do you want to see that? Or do you want to see Luke Shaw? Because your alternative to that is Reguilon on the bench, Luke Shaw at left-back, and Lindelof. What do you think is going to work better against this new Liverpool team? I think probably that. I really do think probably, and I'm not completely sold on it, but I just don't think we can go in with Lindelof at left centre back. He's too meek. He's too non-physical. And in this game, we just can't. It's tough. It really is tough. In my opinion, I think I'm playing Shaw at left centre back, and I'm playing Reguilon at left back. But boy, oh boy, someone who's definitely going to start this game is Rafa Varane. Man, it's mad. The chopping and changing this season. When was the last time that we played with the same back five, like even 2, maybe 3 Premier League games in a row? I'm not sure. It's constantly chopping and changing. One player in, one player out. Shaw moving in left centre back, Shaw at left back. Wan-Bissaka and Dalot in and out, in and out. Varane and Lindelof and Maguire and Shaw and just chopping in, chopping out. It makes it very difficult to get any sort of consistency. I probably think we'll see Wan-Bissaka starting at right back ahead of Dalot. Again, chopping and changing. But, I mean, we'll find out in the game, I suppose. Wan-Bissaka there. But for defensive solidity. But then the thing that's really been annoying me with Wan-Bissaka is that same with Dalot, just looking over your shoulder. Because they're probably going to play with Luis Diaz. They're probably going to play, well, they've got Diaz, they've got Gakpo, they've got where his name is. They've got Salah. They're going to be so dangerous, man. We have to set up this team in the same sort of style that we set up against Bayern Munich. That means a nice defensive line in shape. And you see how we've got 2 in midfield here. This is pretty much good. You know how it's always like, the game was won or lost in midfield. It is absolutely won or lost in midfield. And while the Bruno absence, because he's suspended, I think is a problem, it presents a solution, and it kind of forces Erik ten Hag's hand to do something that a lot of us have been calling for a good while now, right? And that's to play Kobbie Mainoo and Sofyan Amrabat together. I want Ten Hag to do a few things in this game. Number 1, play those 2 together. That right there gives us so much more solidity in midfield as a trio, right? Mainoo, Amrabat, and McTominay. So much more solidity than we've had pretty much all season, where the triangle's been reversed and it's been Amrabat on his own with 2 aggressive number 8s. You can't go to Anfield and do that system. I mean, you can if you're good enough, but we're not good enough. Just fucking accept that we're not good enough, all right? Play like we did against Bayern Munich, but do it with a little bit more quality, and I think we've got a chance. Now, I want to see him playing with 2 in midfield there, and also, I don't really want to see our fullbacks tucking in. I want to see them sort of operating as more traditional fullbacks. Stay wide, stay in your shape, and stay in line. I think if we do those two things alone, I think will make us so much more defensively sound against Liverpool, and that's something we just simply have to be. This is going to be a game where if we score, we're scoring. Maybe 1. Not going to be a barrel load of chances, and there's not going to be a barrel load of goals. So that's what I want to see in midfield. And of course, you know full well what I think about McTominay in this team. He has the goal threat, yes, but as we saw against Bayern Munich, when you want to try and control the game, maybe be a little bit more disciplined, you're then taking away from your attack by having him there. We're not going to be crashing into the box or him late runs into the box too often in this game. I hope that he can maybe do some hold-up play. Maybe the balls can be sent into him and then Højlund can spin off. I don't know. McTominay's going to start. I can't tell you anything about him. I hope to God that he comes up with a goal, and he can do, and he's been, our top goal scorer this season so far. So I'm not ruling it out. But somebody who I think is going to be really, really important in this game, Garnacho. Because, of course, Liverpool's main threat, it is Liverpool's main threat. Liverpool's biggest threat is going to be coming through Mo Salah, who's definitely got golden slippers when he plays us. So that left-hand side is going to need protection. Now, Rashford is fit to play this game, right? So you could technically start him. Do you think he'll start Rashford? Do you maybe think he'll start Rashford through the middle? Or maybe on the right-hand side? I don't think so. I think Rashford comes on. But I might be completely wrong there. But Garnacho's going to have to double up with Reguilon or Luke Shaw, whoever plays that left-back position. And I think he's, in these last 4, 5, 6 weeks or so, I think Garnacho's massively developed in that sense. I think he's actually matured quite a lot. Now, Rashford, I think, is going to be on the bench. Rasmus Højlund, he's got to be smarter than he was against Bayern, all right? Rasmus Højlund, I think Anthony starts on the right-hand side. I think in these sorts of games, I don't really many positive things I can say about Anthony anymore. His output's just been crap this season, but Højlund hasn't scored. Rashford scored, what 2 in the league? Ooh, got a penalty. Garnacho's got, 1? He's got to get him. I don't know, just hardly any. Højlund's not scored in the league yet. Dude, if you've been saving your first goal for Anfield, please. But he has to be smarter than he was against Bayern. Against Bayern, he kind of went really up against the physicality of Bayern, and they were just like, they just dominated him. He's got to spin in behind. And therefore, we've got to look for those balls in behind. I'm not really sure where they're going to come from in this team, though. McTominay is not that feeder. He is not going to be that person right there providing those balls from this position. You know, the balls that Bruno loves. Those through balls there. McTominay is not going to be doing that. So does that mean we're going to be hoping for Mainoo to sort of maybe drift forward a bit into these positions? And he does have the vision to do that and the ability to ball carry. But again, a little bit strange. Are we therefore going to be probably going out towards Antony and Garnacho and hoping that we can get, you know, balls in behind from those places? I don't know. Or is it going to be balls into Højlund, asking him to hold it up and to bring others into play? I don't think that will work against Van Dijk. And I don't know who's going to partner him. But that's the team I would play, I think. Front three of Garnacho, Højlund and Antony. A midfield three of Mainoo and Amrabat at the base in a 4-2-3-1 shape that is far more reminiscent of United last season, like this, than it is reminiscent of United this season. I think that shape there, in and out of possession, will give us more of a chance. But I'm not optimistic for the game. Even the most optimistic of fans. And I'm one of them. My predictions are 3-1 defeat to Liverpool. I hope I'm wrong. I hope this team proves me wrong. But this team absolutely humiliated us last season. There's new faces in there. Okay? It's not all going to be the same 11 that did it. But we conceded one just before halftime against Gakpo. And then conceded one just after halftime against Nunes. And then just the wheels came off. Ten Hag knows how important this game is, right? He knows that if there's anywhere near a repeat performance to what we saw last year, then even some of the most patient United fans will speak out against him. Because that was humiliation last year. And there has to be a response from these players. Will there? I don't know. I'm predicting a 3-1 defeat. I hope I'm completely wrong. And that's the team that I would play. You let me know what your team would be in the comments below, as you always do. Make sure you subscribe. And I'm at the game this weekend. I hope I turn into a good luck charm. Because we need some luck.